Welcome back, Speed Gaming fans, to the Ori and the Blind Forest Definitive Edition All Cells No Restrictions Tournament for 2019. We have here our final quarterfinal match of the bracket, a best of three between our 4th seed eviona2 and our 5th seed Lusther. My name is Jay Halcyon. I am joined by Skullblocka17. Skull, how are you doing today?
I'm amazing, also, especially because this is one of my most hyped match. Because these two runners are very close to each other, and I can't wait to see how they perform tonight or this afternoon. I don't know where you are from.
Definitely. As we can see here, their PBs are only about a couple minutes apart. That's very easy to lose in this category. Their qualifier times, their averages are even closer, only about a minute apart. And so we will hopefully be seeing a nice close race today.
Yeah, especially because their best in the qualifier time are what, about 40 seconds apart, so even closer. I can't wait to see them giving their best tonight.
Definitely. And as we can see here, the winner of this matchup will be going up against our number 1 seed Uncle Ronnie in the semifinals. So maybe a little bit of nerves for that coming out of the end of it, but right now they just need to focus on this race. And they should be starting any second now as we get our transition with our lovely Kuro swooping by. So, Skull, as we get started, you talk to me a little bit about what I'm seeing on this left screen.
Oh yeah, we are playing this version of Ori where everything is a pixel because it's cooler, I guess. Nah, just kidding. Eviona has a strange resolution, so we just need the Ori in pixel, and it's pretty cool too. It's like seeing something from 20 years ago versus something from today.
Yeah, and Eviona has, even when they upgraded their computer, they got used to playing Ori at this resolution, so they've continued doing so. And that gives us some very interesting visuals, like that right there, the gigantic mouse cursor that has almost become Eviona's signature.
Yeah, from the right side we can see Lusther mouse. So,
Thank
in
you.
your opinion,
Thank you, of course, for the lovely replay there on the first entry of the cursor.
yeah, our stream is always on point, Alcyon. We need to be thankful for that.
Whole team, really. So we've got our wonderful truck and our restreamer keeping us apprised of everything that's going on. Right now, not a whole lot going on. Both of our runners just jumping and running and spirit flaming their way through sunken glades.
Yeah, if you took what I think was unintentional damage, so it's up to. I hope you noticed.
Yeah, Aviona seems to be playing just a little bit more cautiously right now, and that's showing in the little bit of deficit that, or a little bit of lead, I should say, that Lusther's managed to open up. But looks like they are doing just fine. Made it through their damage boost there and are set up for their Ghost Door. And that
Yeah,
looked like a 2 HP Ghost Door to me, so maybe
yes.
they're not sure if that was intentional or not, but they'll have an extra bit of health to work through this part of Glades.
I'm not sure either. I didn't see any green pixel to signify I'll drop, but who knows? Difficult to say.
And oh wow, I can't even. It looks like that might be 3 HP. Oh, the UI is so wonderful.
Yeah,
But
this is
Eviona's XP
that
looks
was
to be in an excellent spot, set up nicely for doing a flower skip coming up here. Lusther just about making it to Wall Jump Tree, so they'll both be getting there with a pretty good starting time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure tonight we'll play a game. Guess how much stuff Fiona has from Pixel.
Well, we do know that Eviona has one very large cursor.
I'm not sure that I'll winning a race, though.
It might. I mean, you'll never lose track of where your mouse pointer is while you're trying to bash.
That's a pretty good point.
So now both of our runners getting that level up on the way out, getting a good amount of experience off of those brambles, and Lusther taking just a little bit of a slide down on that wall, but no big deal. Maybe a third of a second loss, but they'll be working their way back over toward Blackroot Burrows to pick up the dash skill.
So, Alton, I wanna ask you a very strange question. Why glades are the two areas where we reset the most?
You know, I really couldn't tell you, Skull.
I mean, it's just for memes or because we don't like race? Or because no, the real answer is that we love these areas. I mean, we are just them for be right back, right?
That could be it. That definitely could be it. Obviously, Glades we use quite a bit in this run. It's we use it as a nice little teleport hub because it has lots of handy physics objects to stand on. Blackroot, we want to visit early because we want to get dash, but we have to come back later to pick up a couple of cells and the grenade skill, which will let us get into a few doors that are also hiding more cells. And of course, this being the all cells category, we need to get all of the cells. So a little bit of a difference here in the routing between Lusther and Eviona. Eviona doing the slime genocide. So they'll be taking XP from several of these slime enemies in the area. Lusther instead opting to pick up a 100 XP orb. Oh no, Eviona taking a death on that laser.
Oh, double death. PFP is so evil with Legion right now.
Yeah, getting knocked by that projectile into the spikes was definitely not the way that you want to recover from taking a death to the lasers.
Yeah, but this explain why we call that be right back. Exactly for that reason.
Yep, thankfully it looks like Evian has shaken off that frustration and has managed to get past those spikes and lasers. Those are probably, in my opinion at least, the worst obstacles in this area. They're definitely the ones that can be most enraging. So good to see Eviona shaking that off and getting back into this. Lusther, almost to the dash tree, working his way through the auto-scrollers. Eviona coming up on it very soon.
I don't think I agree that spikes are the worst enemy in this area because, in my opinion, slimes are, especially because they're very good at sniping away. But I accept your idea, I guess. And last one is coming to dash time.
Yep, of course, Dash does what it says on the tin. Lusther did a little bit of a cutscene stack, so he's going to be doing some blind movement here. Let's see how far he gets down the switchback. Very nicely done. So he's going to be racing to make it under this door. In all skills, we glitch this door open, but here it takes too long, so we just run under it.
Yeah, especially because we will never come back to the area, so we don't really need the door to be open.
Yep, and Lusther using that boulder to push himself down through the floor, saving out under the floor out of bounds, and then when he dies, he'll be under the floor and he can drop down into our next area, Moon Grotto.
Vienna's doing the same blind movement, but I think she messed up getting stopped from a slime. As I said, slimer snipers, but made it through the door. Good job, Vienna.
Yeah, it looked like Eviona just needed a little bit more XP from one of those slimes, and So had to take a little bit of time to do that, but still made it under the door. That's the important part. No big time loss from that. So they'll be making their way into Moon Grotto using that boulder clip. And Lusther is just now making it to the double jump tree. So we'll be doing a little bit of blind movement off to the left. We'll see how high up he gets on this wall. With really good movement, he can be jumping over to or on the left wall. Looks like he bonked his head on the spikes there just a little bit, so has to be a little bit careful here. Okay, good. He makes it out, is able to place a save.
Yeah, good recognition to place a save there, especially after that. Oh my god. That was that if he didn't save. Good job, Lusther.
Yeah, the ability that we level up here at the double jump tree gives us an additional 1 health every time we save, and that 1 health is the only health that Lusther has right now, as he nails that grotto skip and makes his way up toward the water vein.
Ooh, apparently Eviona bonked on the same spike as Lusther did.
Yeah, it looks like Eviona was just a little bit farther down that wall, but not a big deal. Not a lot of time loss versus what Lusther did, so they are keeping pace at least. So Lusther took a level up here, which is good because he needs all 3 of his energy to skip this cutscene and then open this 2 energy door. We'll see if Eviona managed their XP in Blackroot Burrows correctly to get that same level up, or if they'll need to pick up a backup energy crystal.
Yeah, it's very important for us to open this door right away, because we definitely need that not energy, sorry, life cell for upcoming swim. Well, it's not really upcoming. It's what 10 to 20 minutes from now. But man, we really need that health.
Yeah, and Eviona did get that level up, so no need for the backup. Lusther working his way through, getting another timed level up here, and will be making his way up to the Ginso tree momentarily. Eviona following him up through Grotto, watching these lovely cutscenes with Gumo stealing the water vein in reverse. Because, as you may have noted, we're doing things a little bit out of order. Both of our runners making it to that 200 XP orb on their way out of Moon Grotto without taking damage on those spikes. That takes some doing. The terrain there can ramp you down into the spikes pretty easily.
Yeah, it's really impressive. I wouldn't say lucky because these two are very seasonal runner, but really impressive. We already see a lot of runner bonking on those spikes.
Yeah, so now with our runners entering the Ginso tree, they've got the water vein. They're into our first dungeon. Skull, what can you tell me about the Ginso tree?
It's a huge tree. We'll see in a lot of time that it's bigger than a volcano. For now, it's just a big tree opened by a round blue orb that contain another tree, and that tree has the most important skill for our runs. And it's the best dungeon ever because it's vertical, we can cheat at it, and we don't even need to complete it. A very
Yep.
good dungeon.
Yep, and speaking of cheating, we see Lusther doing another little small clip just to save a few seconds there in that puzzle room. We see Eviona doing some very low resolution telehops to quickly climb up that second room. Oop, giving the spider a little bit of a kiss, but moving through just fine. And Lusther, missed the keystone.
Hal, if I may, don't say it's a spider. I'm arachnophobic. You wanna kill me or something? My god.
Hey, spiders need love too.
Ugh. What bad thing is that? Anyway, Lusther just reached Bash Day. So, why Bash is your favorite skill, Lusther? Not Lusther, Alcin. Oh.
I was gonna say, is Lusther helping us commentate this while racing? That would be impressive and also spooky. My favorite skill, Bash is my favorite skill because it's very versatile. As we can see here, you can use it to, with the help of some friendly projectiles, break walls, and as well as bounce Ori around off of enemies, projectiles, lanterns. It gives you a lot of mobility in the air, and especially with double bashes like Lusther just showed us, you can do some really crazy things with it.
Yeah, in my opinion, Bash is the most beautiful skill because from now on we don't need to fight enemies, except from some mini boss, as we see. Maybe we'll see later, but we just use them. Who needs sign anymore?
Oh no, Lusther taking a bit of a death there. I didn't see if he rekindled after his successful key duplication. Looks like he's pretty confident that he did because he's going for that energy cell. But that's going to put Eviona just barely behind him.
Man, that lost resolution key inserting in the door. Feel like he's missing some, but he doesn't.
Yep, so now moving on Lusther to this second Ginso Tree mini-boss. Pretty simple once you get the core mechanic behind it. Looks like he wanted a little bit more of the XP that it dropped, but didn't quite get to pick it up, so he'll need to pick up a little bit more XP later on to get a level up for that ability point. On the right, Lusther warping out of the Ginso Tree. On the left, Eviona right on his tails, fighting this mini-boss.
Yeah, and now Lusther will show us one of the core mechanics of SCNR. Warp displacement. You need one teleport to go, well, not to another teleport.
Yeah, the Spirit Wells in the Definitive Edition were given this sort of fast travel station functionality, but it turns out that if you can somehow make yourself able to move during the teleport, and then you stand on some sort of physics object, you can change where the teleport ends up. And our runners have used that to, instead of going to that swamp teleporter underneath the Ginso tree, to very quickly reach this ability cell and then this area where we used to get into swamp because we didn't finish the Ginso tree dungeon.
Yeah.
Ooh, Eviona shot phasing through, but managing to come back down and still hit it.
Awesomeness inked.
Yeah, it's a beautiful replay of that nice fish backup after falling into the water. So now we'll get a bit of a high five from our runners as Eviona enters to get the stomp tree. Lusther leaving. Eviona's closed up this gap quite a bit.
So, what is Lusther? What is that weird tag?
Well, we're about to see it again from Eviona. Oh no, dropping that double bash, taking a quick death in the water. So Eviona is going to be attempting to double bash this fish up to an energy cell. We can get it later, but it takes quite a bit of extra time to do so. So even with that little bit of time lost from the slow get here, it's still faster. Lusther, for his part, moving out and around this little loop area and swamp. He'll be passing in front of the Ginso tree momentarily, and then heading off to go get the Charge Flame skill.
So, I have another question for you all. Why is Charge Flame your favorite skill?
I thought my favorite skill was Bash. You're confusing me, Skull. Um, I'm gonna say that Charge Flame is one of the fastest skills that we never use, and that's why it's my favorite. We don't use it maybe more than once or twice in this run. It's not particularly useful in itself for going fast, and it costs energy, and energy is particularly useful for going fast. But we can't proceed further up the skill tree to get to our absolute favorite skill, ability, we'll say, without it. Because before we get Charge Flame, we can't skill up to Charge Dash. And Charge Dash lets us do all sorts of very, very fast movement getting into this mid and late game that we'll be seeing very soon. So, Lusther coming up on that Charge Flame. Eviona deciding to skip that energy cell in the spiders area. They'll be picking it up later when we revisit this area to get the rest of the cells. It's an interesting choice that I haven't seen any of our other runners do.
Well, I see somebody do that, but only because they mixed cell. So, I'm not sure if that is if you wanna particular start or if people get it. We need to see that later.
Yeah, hopefully they aren't just forgetting the cell. That would be rather tragic. We would really prefer to see all cells runs, not most cells runs today.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but there was a bird that passed a wall. It was not in from last screen.
Yeah, those
Enemies in
birds.
this game are
Those birds. I think they're getting a little bit jealous. They also want to go out of bounds, so they've just decided to do that. And as we can see here, Eviona has managed to catch up and even pass Lusther with some with their movement through this Valley of the Winds area. Lusther having a little bit of trouble with this, as we kind of jokingly call him, the bird boss.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you wanna manipulate Lusther's bird to do that to him.
Yep, Eviona getting fast Stompless immediately. Lusther not liking the first shot, not liking that second shot, waiting for a shot that he likes, and then he'll take off to the right. There you go. He likes that one. Gonna race up, grab this ability cell. In all skills, if you grab this, if you miss this, you have to get it back up. In all cells, if you do miss this and get this, you have to go all the way back around to get it.
Yeah, that would be really, really tragic. But now we see if you not take save on the well. This will restore his energy and luck for this upcoming trip called Sarbash. And I really like this choice because I'm very scared of this snake. But Evian apparently is not. Good job.
Yeah, moving very confidently through that Sorrow Bash. Probably just wanting to get an energy refill because they did skip that energy cell earlier.
That's a good point. Thank you for noticing that, Al. Anyway, on the other side, Lusther did an amazing job on his Sarbash too. So the um, gap between these two runners is staying closer as ever.
Yeah, we'll see how they both do on this upcoming trick. They're going to be using this rock or tumbleweed and letting it push them up through the ceiling to skip having to go around. But this takes some very precise positioning, and I can't even tell if Eviona's in the right spot. Yep, looks like they are, because they got the clip just fine. Ooh, taking a quick death there. Oh no, Eviona, grab the... Okay. So both of our runners on the same clip at the same time now. Lusther gets up into the ceiling, makes it into the spike cave. Eviona gets up into the ceiling, gets up into the spike cave. So Lusther just barely ahead of Eviona at this charge jump tree, just a handful of seconds. Let's see if he's able to capitalize on this little bit of mistake by Eviona, or if he gives some of this time back.
Oh man, I'm so excited. We never had a race, I think, this close in the tournament so far. And seeing these two runners being 3 seconds apart at child jump, same tree. Uh, at child jump is very, very interesting. Especially because now we need to go down to Misty first and then doing one of the, in my opinion, the most difficult clip, that is the one to Sorrow. To Fallen. Fallen and Sorrow at the same place, right?
I'm pretty sure they aren't, but we'll go with it. They both have some cells in them that we need to get right. That makes them the same place. Oh
Yeah,
no,
definitely.
Lusther all the way back to the charge jump tree, taking a death, leaving Sorrow Pass on those 4 damage spikes. That is horribly tragic for him. That is probably over a minute deficit that he'll have to make up now. And taking another death, just adding to it.
Lusther, I didn't say that you were close because I want to curse you, I swear.
Yeah, so as Lusther works his way back out of Sorrow Pass, we'll see Eviona looks like backing up the save here in Misty Woods. And then we'll be going for a fast clip, skipping this Atsu's Torch cutscene even, to get out of Misty Woods and then go get into Forlorn. Looks like the clip worked. And there we are, Forlorn Ruins. Is everyone excited to see the Forlorn escape? Scullery. Oh no, Lusther, not again! Lusther getting infinited by Sorrow Pass today. This is not a good feeling.
I mean, now, that's why that area is called Sorrow, right? Because you feel sorrow going through it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely living up to its name for Lusther right now. Eviona, looks like, yeah, they'll be backing up this as well. This clip can be a little bit tricky, so backing it up makes quite a bit of sense. But looks like they got it just fine. Oh, are they stuck in the level geometry? Nope, they got out. Okay. Little bit of a stomp onto the head of that spider. Go away, spider. You're not my spider I like to kiss.
Man, still talking about kissing spiders. God damn it. Anyway, if you not decide to take an intentional damage here right, while warping two blades, because we are gonna die pretty soon, intentionally. Because we need to do another clip from BRB to the grenade tank.
Yeah, and taking that intentional damage, we could have just not done a save at that teleporter while we were using it, but we wanted the energy back, so that's going to refill our health as well. But taking some quick damage on that hot floor lets us use some of the extra time that we have at that teleporter in a productive way, rather than just waiting and then having to burn that health off later. So Lusther on the right has made it successfully out of Sorrow Pass, and will now be going for his clip down into Forlorn, using a little bit more careful strategy. Meanwhile, Eviona just doing some quick cell cleanup. Oh, Lusther, that movement looked a little bit suspect.
Really make it through.
Okay, he voided out. Void it out. It's fine. He'll just do that void drop again. And he's successfully fallen into Forlorn. Taking a safety save, and then working his way across these lasers. We're on cycles in Forlorn, so any movement that's a little bit off once you get into this area can very quickly spiral into just being off time for everything. Eviona on the left into Lost Grove. Looks like they are not going to be going for the swim in and back out to get to this ability cell, instead choosing to do an out-of-bounds clip and then fall down onto it, as we'll see right here. So that will save them the concern about having enough health to make both swims. They'll just have to do this once.
Yeah, and he's in the swim with the IO, so he's very, very confident about his health. And he successfully do the swim. Good job, baby.
Yep, Lusther also taking that intentional damage. You can see on his UI, he's actually at 0 health right now by a little bit of an exploit of the way that the game works. So any damage will kill him, of course, but he didn't take any damage, so he's doing just fine. Setting up his Terra Clip, and then quickly moving over to find a spot to die on those spikes. Eviona, looks like that clip didn't quite work out for them, so they've loaded up a backup. They're going to have to redo a lot of that lower Lost Grove, unfortunately, but they are still in the lead.
Wow, what a perfect landing this time. Landing exactly where the lantern is. But BRB take time to load. Every time.
Yeah, unfortunate on that the lower part of Blackroot takes so long to load on basically every computer. I don't think I've seen a computer or a streamer yet where it hasn't needed to load. But Eviona very confidently reloading. Looks like that clip didn't quite work out right.
That very confidently reloading was very cool.
Alright, Eviona back in, grabbing that ability cell, making that swim again. Lusther coming up, about to make his clip down into Lost Grove. We'll see if this clip out of Lost Grove goes better for Eviona than the previous one did.
Yeah, if that's wrong, Lusther can definitely catch up, and now is going down on Lost Grove right now.
Yeah, Eviona choosing to do some movement behind a save anywhere here. Looks like, yep, they've successfully clipped out of Lost Grove and are back in Moon Grotto to clean up these cells. Lusther setting up a clip down to that swim cell as well. A little bit different clip, though. Oh, unfortunately, he won't get to keep that ability cell. He'll have to pick it up again. But taking a quick death to that door, dropping down, getting the ability cell, and then he'll be working his way back up to that area.
Ooh, dropping a double bush. Now it's pretty rough spot because I don't know if his health is enough to survive that. Let's see.
Yeah, he'll need to double bash this fish a couple of times just to make sure he gets out. He does with 1 health left. Ah, but he's already pulled the lever, so he doesn't have to wait for that again. Very nice. On the left, Eviona climbing up out of Moon Grotto. Just a couple more cells to get here, and then they will be on their way to Hollow Grove, where they will be picking up those cells that they skipped earlier. skipping... Did they get a pickup animation for that health cell? I think they managed to skip that. That's cool.
Yeah, she got quickly in the water.
Yep. Very nicely doing that butter clip, and now back into Grove to pick up this energy cell, and then head over into the spiders area. Oh no! Oh, they skipped this health cell as well. But not going to touch the ground. The ground is pickup animations, and we don't like pickup animations.
Wait, did she rocket jump this spider?
Yeah,
But he
eviona
doesn't-
did rocket jump off of that spider, so has not yet picked up that energy cell at the bottom of this area. Might be planning to grab it on the way out for the energy refill.
No? Man, I'm so scared they forgot about it.
We're about to find out. Nope, there they go. Picking that up, and then quickly heading over to Horu Fields.
Man, if you know, I was so scared about that. Please don't do that again. No, they will probably do that again because it's their route. Everyone is confident with their personal route. For example, mine for this is totally different, but you just need to do what you really like, right, Alcyon?
Oh no, eviona clipping into the little room with the stomp peg there. So gonna have to redo that clip. Oh, having some trouble with it. This is giving Lusther some time to catch up. Decides to give up on that clip and go around in the other direction. Getting the pickup animation there at the perfect time to not get hit by that laser. Very nice.
You know, Alcyon,
And there's
I never saw someone use pick up animation to skip a laser.
Oh, what's really fun is when people get a pickup animation and they manage to skip getting crushed by a crusher. Some stair cancels coming out from eviona. Not wanting to drop any of the energy, but still moving very, very quickly through that area. And one more cell, and they will be done with this Hollow Grove area and headed to Valley of the Wind. Meanwhile, Lusther heading in to this Horu Fields area. 3 cells to get. He's got the health cell. I believe Lusther will be going for that same clip into that ability cell. Let's see if he manages to get it.
He does.
Yeah, looks like he got it no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, I still have a bit of time on eviona. Good thing is starting to catch up a lot.
Yep, now Lusther just needs this energy cell, and he can head out to chase eviona into Valley of the Wind.
Eviona, you're on spikes. Ouch.
Oh, they're just spikes. Both our runners have 1 billion health by now. So, spikes are not particularly dangerous. What will be dangerous is the poison water that eviona is about to go swimming in. And doing so without the health from those spikes that they did, from the spike damage they took, might be a little bit interesting.
Yeah, but as you said, eviona has tons of health. She pop up, they pop up, the UI is totally safe.
Yep, Lusther going for a little bit different method. We've seen a lot of our runners warp displace into getting that ability cell. Lusther instead using a little micro ledge there that you can charge jump off of to break that same wall. And doing it very quickly. Nicely done, Lusther. Eviona taking an extra save, leaving this long swim energy cell to get some extra health back, and gets out of the water just fine with the help of that extra 2 health. And will now be on their way back into Sunken Glades. It's, of course, our favorite zone, because we spend all of our time here.
I'm not
But
sure if Anas would agree that it's a favorite zone. So
they might not, but I think most of our runners who play Ori quite a bit have definitely logged more hours in Glades than any other zone. So that's my argument for it being their favorite. Eviona, taking a quick death to that laser. Thankfully, safety save. My goodness, stomping down toward that insta-kill laser.
oh, come on, Ali, just an instant kill laser. What could go wrong? Apart from everything. Duh.
I mean, you could stomp into it and die without a safety save and go all the way back to the Valley Long Swim cell. Not that anyone's ever had that happen to them in a run.
I feel like these silences runner holding their hands up to say, yeah, I did.
Lusther
But
doing a little bit of new tech. This was discovered just in the past week. He's attempting here to clip down into Spirit Caverns, but it looks like he's gotten stuck on some of the geometry, so he's going to have to take a reload. Meanwhile, Eviona has finished up Glades and warp displaced over to the Ginso tree for their final out of bounds, where we take advantage of the fact that the Ginso tree is taller than a volcano. Oh, Eviona just touching the ground just a little bit. Getting, having Sign tell them about how the core of the Ginso tree needs to be cleansed. But successfully making it over to Mount Horu, picking up that last energy cell. All they have to do now is finish the game. Lusther, hot on their heels, charge dashing like a madman through Sunken Glades.
yeah, if our two runners knew how far or close they are, I'm pretty sure Lusther would be very more tense than he is now. But none of them are watching their opponent, so they don't know where their opponent is.
Yeah, all they can know right now is that their opponent hasn't typed .done in the SRL chat yet. But Eviona has successfully gotten the last out of bounds, is now in the final escape. It's a little bit hard to see behind the menu. Rocket jumping off of that fish and getting into this final cutscene that they will be skipping the first half of with a quick save and reload.
You know, I'm not sure if it's difficult to see behind the menu or behind the giant mouse button.
Yeah, as that cutscene is going on, Lusther showing us a bit of new tech he's developed in the past week as well. Teleporting from Glades to outside of the Ginso tree so he can save some time and just immediately start heading over to Horu. Very neat tech. So with this little last run with Pixely Naru, Eviona will finish up Game 1, taking a victory with a final time of 43 minutes and 9 seconds. Lusther setting up for his last out of bounds and gets it. He's into the final escape, just has one last cutscene skip standing between him and finishing this run. Oh no, he spawned Kuro. Doesn't quite get that rocket jump, so he's got to finish out this room the traditional way, hides from Kuro, charge jumps up, bashes off those rocks, and gets into the final cutscene.
Yeah, but Lusther is a grilled fish. We have something to eat then. Thank you, Lusther.
Yeah, he's fried that fish up on that nice hot lava for us. Unfortunately, it looks like he didn't get that skip on that first half of the cutscene. So he'll be doing this run for just a little bit longer because of that, but it'll be over soon. All he has to do is hold right either way. GG to Lusther.
Yeah, this was a very cool run, but Al, I need to ask one last question to you. You talk about Naru. Who is Naru?
Naru is a character that exists only to run to the right for about 6.5 seconds. No, Naru is a character that we see a lot more when playing this game casually, but is mostly confined to the prologue and a couple of cutscenes. And playing the prologue and watching cutscenes is really slow, so we don't really do those. So this is really the only time that we see Naru when speedrunning.
Poor Naru.
So Lusther finishing up there with a final time of 45 minutes flat. GG to both our runners. Congratulations on the win, Eviona. And we're going to give our runners and our broadcasters a little bit of time to take a break and get ready to go. So stay tuned, and we will be back in just a few minutes.
that what is that?
Welcome back, Ori fans. Random people that pass by and yeah, get excited, and speak game viewers. I'm Skullblacker17, and with me there is a great bird called J. Alcyon, and we are here to show you Eviona versus Lusther Game 2. Welcome back, Alcyon.
Thanks, Skull. Yeah, the first game was pretty close. We had it ended up being decided by just a couple of minutes. Lusther took some unfortunate deaths in Sorrow Pass, but this is really anyone's game here. I know we like to say that as commentators because we wish for close races, but this one really could have gone either way, and Game 2 will likewise could go either way.
Yeah, we saw a couple lead change throughout the game. Yeah, as you said, Saro decide the fate of this race, but I'm really sure Lusther can fix his mistakes, and we can have an even closer game this time.
Yeah, and if he does, it's going to be very difficult for Eviona to match his late game strats. As we saw, he's integrated some of the newer tech very quickly that saves quite a bit of time, probably on the order of 30 seconds in that late game. So if he can manage to keep pace with Eviona up until Valley of the Wind cell collection, he's going to be in excellent position to take a win in this game too.
Yeah, I would be so excited to see Lusther win this because it will be our first game 3 of this series. And more than that, I'm excited to see if um, or, original Ori um, can win against Pixel Ori this time.
Yeah, for those just joining us, Eviona's screen on the left is a little bit pixelated. Eviona plays at a very low resolution, and that's also why their cursor is so fantastically gigantic.
So we reach our first skill of the game, Sign. Sign is Ori's best friend, and it's just our orb to attack. So, as in why you hate Sign and why?
Why do I hate Sign? I don't hate Sign. I quite enjoy Sign. I think he gives very useful instructions and guidance to the player, and helps you figure out where you need to go next.
That's right. I know runners usually hate Sign for the same reason because we know the game we don't need that tutorial, and more importantly, we don't need Sign to miss his shot.
Yeah, when Sign misses shots, it's a little bit infuriating, as we saw Lusther have a little bit of trouble with that in that earlier Frankie fight, but he's recovered from that right on Eviona's tail, right where he wants to be, coming through this early Sunken Glades area to get set up for his Ghost Door. Eviona taking, again, a 2-health Ghost Door, so that might be intentional. That might be a safety strat that they've decided to use to make this early area just a little bit less stressful.
Yeah, it's always stressful when you try to go down to one health to make that door disappear faster, and then you receive one health out of nowhere. I totally agree with the Fiona choice.
Yeah, running through Sunken Glades can be very, very spooky at 1 health. Lusther showing no fear, and oh no! Getting a little bit punished for his hubris, maybe. Getting sent back all the way to his Ghost Door save. Eviona taking that level up just a little bit earlier than they wanted to, so they'll lose a little bit of time to that, but only a handful of seconds. But Lusther will have to recover all of this ground, and we'll see just how much time that lost him when he gets to the wall jump tree.
I think that is about a minute, but we need to see last time is a price faster on it. Maybe I'm wrong. But still, being about 1 minute behind the wall jump is not a feeling that you want to feel. Especially because Glades and BFB, as we said earlier, are very reset heavy zones. And this is why.
Yeah, it's very easy to take very costly deaths early in the game like this. You have very low health, you have very low energy, so you can't place a lot of saves for safety. Lusther getting his wall jump, looks like he lost about 40 seconds to that death. And that's about the difference between him and Eviona. But and a lot of these enemies and spikes will do 2 or 3 damage to you, and when you're running around at 3 health, that's very lethal.
Yeah, we saw just now if you wanna take safety save there. Definitely doesn't want to feel the same fate as Lusther, even if he's not watching him.
Yep, Eviona now making it to our first save anywhere for a cutscene skip. We'll be leveling up that quick flame ability to allow them to kill these slimes in Blackroot just a little bit faster, and then later on kill that Misty mini-boss, or Misty mini-boss. Ha! We don't see the Misty mini-boss in this category. Ginso mini-boss just a little bit faster as well.
Yeah, especially because I think Misty Minibus was patched out a long time ago. I don't know what you're talking about, Alcyon.
No, it was only patched out for the All Skills run. In All Cells, it's still there, so we just clip past it.
Oh, I understand now. Thank you for explaining, Nelson.
Jokes aside, by the time we get to the Misty Mini Boss, we have lots of tools that allow us to kill it much faster than Quick Flame would help with. So,
Yeah, especially
but
because we don't
back to
have
on topic. Eviona making their way across this pit of spikes, being shot at by a flower, and then working their way up this laser. Oh my goodness! Making the genocide cycle though, that will save them 8 seconds over if they were just about a half second slower, thanks to the way that all of the cycles work in Blackroot. Lusther on the right getting his jump up to that 100 XP orb after just a little bit of difficulty, and then we'll be moving over to those lasers himself.
I don't know if that was the lower resolution, but I could hear Fiona say the 1 your laser, but where? And just pass through it.
Oh no, Lusther taking another death, getting hit into the spikes by that fireball from the flower. He's losing quite a bit of time in this early game, and that can't feel good.
This feel like Karen's verse of what happened. Oh my god, Lusther. That hurt. I was saying, this is a reverse of what happened last game, where Fiona was the one behind because of the flowers or the dead before. But now, Lusther has taken a very huge deficit from Fiona, and from Fiona last game too. Can he recover? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it'll be difficult. Lusther will need to play pretty darn close to perfect and rely on Eviona making some mistakes for him. But making it through those lasers finally is Lusther. He'll be heading over to get his dash skill very soon and get to work on putting this early game behind him, hopefully. On the left, Eviona doing this boulder escape and going for this nice clip under the floor to let them get into Moon Grotto much earlier than the game intends us to do there.
I mean, the game intends us to have at least one more skill, some more energy and health, but nah, who need those?
Yep, Eviona not quite making that fast cycle on the Grotto Crushers, but that's definitely not something that is easy to do. So maybe a chance for Lusther if he gets everything put together just right to pick up 8 seconds. Either way, not a big deal for Eviona. Getting that nice ghost door too.
Yeah, this time should they decide to go on the ability menu to the double jump tree too. That take balls.
Yeah, it looks like that was a little bit of an energy management strategy. Not certain if Eviona had enough energy to be able to place a save down at the double jump tree itself, or if they were just, or if they had spent that energy elsewhere. But looks like Lusther about a minute and a half behind at the dash tree, so he's got his work cut out for him.
Yeah, and if you're not making their fight to help Lusther, failing to auto skip once or twice. They definitely try to help Lusther. I know that. No, I don't.
Yeah, Lusther, unfortunately, getting that 15 XP pickup animation there will cause him to miss this grotto cycle, so no 8 seconds back for him there, but he might be able to pick up the few that Eviona left for him at grotto skip to make up for that.
We're gonna get a nice level up the way we intended, so we can skip rage and open the 2 energy door, so it's very nice to see that happen.
Yeah, Lusther accidentally putting down his save for his ghost door there before inserting keystones, so taking just a little bit of time loss to that as Eviona climbs their way out of Moon Grotto.
Ouch, Gandalf! If you're not... Okay, he's fine. Man,
Yeah, Eviona.
Gandalf's slime is fine. No, please go.
Yeah, Eviona does have to be a little bit careful now, though. Taking a couple hits from that slime did put them at 3 health, which is what those spikes that they just jumped through would do if Ori decided to take a bite out of them. Thankfully, we didn't have to see that because that would be a very tragic death. That's a section of the run where you just don't have any energy to save.
Man, Leaky Spider, Bite Spikes. Have a strange diet, my friend. Anyway, Lusther seems to have some problem with Garter walls. They're very irregular and double jump doesn't really help with them. Help a lot, but not enough sometimes.
Yeah, grotto walls can be very difficult to climb effectively, unfortunately. A lot of games would draw nice lines for walls and then just put whatever image on top of them they want. Moon Studios, when they made this game, decided that no, the walls should be exactly what they look like, which lets us do things like what Lusther just did and find little spots to jump up on them.
Oh no,
Oh
Fiona!
no!
That's a huge hat! Ah.
Yeah, that's a very painful death, especially as Eviona was actually on ahead of their PB at the beginning of the Ginso tree. Going to have to make up some ground now to make up for that death.
You feel so sad for Fiona because, as you said, it's to his PB, but that is a very important stuff for Lusther that can have some time to catch up now.
Yep, Lusther going for this quick cycle on these spinning spike arms. Doesn't quite get it. So that would have been a nice few seconds as well. But picks up his swamp teleporter to use later and continues on his way up to the Ginso tree, taking a lot of damage there.
Yeah, I think it's just as 1 or 2. I'm very scared for him.
Yeah, two health left after that save, meaning he was down at 1. That was very spooky. On the left, Eviona making short work of that Ginso mini-boss, putting that quick flame to nice use, and will now be picking up some keystones and then the bash skill. So as Eviona reaches that bash tree, we should be able to see how they're doing compared to their PB. Lusther making his way up the Genso tree toward that mini-boss and looking to close a little bit of that gap. And
That's a very weird save from Lusther. It did work. I'm very impressed with that.
Yeah, getting a nice update from our very helpful truck friends, letting us know Eviona is now 23 seconds behind their PB. So about 25 seconds lost to that death. Very unfortunate. And looks like having just a little bit of trouble with this key duplication death. Got it. There we go.
Lusther, I have another strange question for you. Do you prefer original Ori or pixelated Ori right now?
Well, I'm not sure what Lusther prefers, but I'm kind of torn. I mean, there's definitely a lot of charm to Ori and the gigantic cursor watching over everything that he does, but at the same time, this game is too pretty, and Lusther's feed lets me see that.
I don't know, I feel kinda nostalgic, like if Studio was born 10, 20 years ago, that is our Ori. Feels so strange to see that.
Yeah, it is. It does look kind of similar to what you'd expect a game to look like in, you know, on 90s era hardware. But Eviona getting that warp displacement over to Swamp just fine. Cursor helping them out. And oh no, dunking the frog. That'll cost them just a little bit of time as they have to reset that.
Apparently giant cursor don't help save frogs.
And of course, I haven't thought of this before. I've watched Eviona before, but do you think Eviona's cursor has a name?
eviona3, maybe? I don't know, what about you? What did you think?
I mean, it's such a big part of their stream. I wouldn't be surprised if it has a name. But Eviona now making it up to this stomp tree. Lusther going for his warp displacement into Swamp. He's going to dash over to the left here, stand on this log, and let the teleport put him in a weird place that is just perfect. Going for his Swamp entry. He's looking to save some time over Eviona. Gets the frog into position. First shot breaks the first floor. Drops down. He just needs a couple of dashes to put it into the second floor, and he gets it. Very nicely done.
On the other side, Eviona is giving Lusther even more time because it failed the fish double bash twice now. Okay, get it first, third try. First try, every time. GG Eviona.
Lusther going for this this fish again. That I might have been wrong last time when I talked about that being a backup strat. That looks like it might be intended. I wonder if that's faster.
If you're consistent with double bash, definitely is. I mean, you don't need to waste time waiting for a shot or just double bashing that way.
Or climbing up the sides of those logs would be another big time save. I'll have to try that out.
Now that we have a task within
Oh,
the
no!
Desperados, oh my god, the rhino! Oh.
Thankfully, Lusther did have a safety save not too far away, but it will lose him that energy cell. He'll have to juggle the fish back up. Those rhinos. Oh no, falling into the water.
Yeah, we saw Lusther taking a bot before into exiting from Stomp area, so now it's out one. It's very risky the play is trying to make. Will it do it? That try? That try. I believe.
Oh, why did you have to say something, Skull?
I believe.
Oh, Lusther just unfortunately getting stuck in an infinite loop here with this fish. Getting the double bashes every time, getting up to this energy cell, and then having something else send him back to do it again.
There is an
Meanwhile,
energy cell. Energy crystal here. I'll save.
yeah, Eviona taking advantage of those mistakes to get all the way past the Charge Flame tree, now into Valley of the Wind, heading up toward Fast Stompless. Now, we saw last race, Eviona decided to save on that Valley teleporter to get energy and health back, and it looks like they'll be doing that again, throwing out a couple of uncanceled charge dashes. So, deciding to spend that energy to go fast and then give up a little bit of time to get all the energy back.
Yeah, saving there is a pretty wise choice, especially considering how much energy Fiona is using between chat dashes, rocket jumps. But man, fast or safety? What do you prefer, Hal?
I mean, I prefer both if I can do it, but I'm definitely a big fan of taking safety saves in Valley. It's a long time to go without a save, and it's a very dangerous area. Eviona making good use of that safety save up at the Fast Stompless. Oh, missing it a second time, but again, able to quickly reset by taking a death.
Yeah, saving at that spot is, in my opinion, the best place you can save at when you time fast plus. Exactly for this reason. Wow, that shot miss? That's
Yeah, look.
very uncharacteristic of Fiona.
Yeah, Eviona might be having some trouble getting to the right fast enough for the wall to despawn. Just unfortunately having a lot of trouble with this trick.
These definitely compensate Lusther death in Stomp area. Lusther is now a Charge Flame, while Fiona is getting finally Stompless.
Yeah, Eviona giving back some of that time that Lusther lost on that fish juggle. So, a little bit more of a chance for Lusther to catch up, but he'll still need to play well.
Yeah, the deficit is still 1 to 2 minutes behind, so yeah, Lusther need to play godly. Or let Fiona do a lot of more mistakes. One of the two.
Well, we have seen one of our runners get bodied by Sorrow Pass already, so it could happen. Either to even this race out or to make this lead very difficult to work with. Eviona looks like having a little bit of trouble with those energy drops, but gets them in the end. And Lusther on the right, going up for his Fast Stompless. Eviona took quite a while going for this. Let's see if Lusther can improve. He likes that first shot. Stomp stall. Does he get to the cell? He got to the cell. Oh no, the shot missed.
Oh no.
And without that safety save that Eviona used, he has to climb back up every time he wants to retry this trick. Oh, and the spider didn't shoot. Oh, no, but that's fine. He doesn't need the spider
Yeah.
shot this time. But looks like the shot missed again. Oh no.
Oh
And
no,
his spider died. Thankfully, these are quick respawning. Oh no! Oh no! Lusther taking a huge death all the way back to the spirit tree. This is what we were talking about. with Eviona's safety save there. That is tragic.
Yeah, this is one of the worst that you take in this run if you don't save.
So Lusther working his way back through Valley a second time. He'll need to get reset and then go for Fast Stompless again. Eviona has finished up the top part of Sorrow, got Charge Jump, got that ability cell, just heading over for this health cell, and then we'll be on their way out and down to Misty Wood. Lusther back up at Fast Stompless, going for it again. Bashes the shot, likes the angle, waits for the spider shot, gets the cell, gets the shot, very nicely recovered.
Yeah, you recovered the shot, but I bet all that grinding on his brain right now. And that is, in my opinion, the worst thing that can happen in Ice. Not just dying, but still thinking about that.
Yeah, Eviona busting out some very, very nice movement for us here in Misty Woods. Some stair cancels, some charge dashes with stomp cancels in the spikes. Demonstrating a lot of confidence in their movement here. Gets their clip out of Misty Woods just fine, falling down toward Forlorn now. As Lusther setting up for his tumbleweed clip. Oh my goodness, Eviona.
It's fine. It's a funny KO laser. Come on.
Wow, on all of the perfect cycles right here in Forlorn is Eviona. Not losing any time to waiting for these lasers at all. So doing a quick backup on their save here before leaving Forlorn and heading to, well, back to Blackroot. Oh, did that clip not go? Looks like she got it. Okay.
On a positive note, Lusther got first try boulder clip. So it's a very good thing to have what I consider worst thing of this run out of the way. So what's the worst trick for you, Halcyon?
In this run, I'm gonna have to say the Ginso to Horu is probably my least favorite, just because of how much time it takes to set up and how badly it can go wrong if it does. I used to have quite a bit of trouble with that tumbleweed clip in Sorrow, but I think I've got it gelled recently a little bit better. But back to our runners. Lusther getting out of Sorrow first try this time. Nice recovery from last race. He's into Misty Woods, tearing it up, showing those forest critters who's boss.
Yeah, but ouch. The spikes still win over him.
Yeah, Ori may be the boss of the forest critters, but the spikes are definitely the boss of Ori.
The spikes are the boss of the forest.
Eviona on our left, tearing up Blackroot. Moving very confidently through, and will now be setting up their next clip Gonna do a backup for this one as well.
Yeah, this backup last race was very useful because apparently they self-lock on that clip. So I hope to see not a self-lock again.
Yep, gets that clip first try, heads down into Lost Grove, touching the ground from that clip before lighting that lantern to give the Lost Grove itself some time to load, and then setting up for this clip down to the ability cell. Looks like that clip didn't quite go as planned. Reloading and going for it again is Eviona. Lusther making his way through Forlorn. He's back to his save. No backup for him. Just gonna go straight for this clip to get out.
Man, this guy was so close to the cell, but apparently Vienna got stuck in the geometry of the landscape. That's so sad.
Yeah, both of our runners having a little bit of trouble with clips right now. Eviona finally getting down to that ability cell. Lusther finally making it out of that Forlorn geometry. I was a little bit worried he was going to have to reload, but managed to find a way out of it with no backup. So now we've got Lusther making his way into Blackroot Burrows for his revisit, as Eviona is getting set up to make their way out of Blackroot Burrows and back into Moon Grotto. Lusther is trying to keep this close, but he's still got quite a bit of work ahead of him.
Yeah, Evgeny is doing the right thing. He's not giving him time to recover. We only saw a small mistake from Fiona and nothing that Lusther can't really catch up on. Because we saw...
Wow, those movement.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
So Eviona climbing back up out of Grotto. Just a few cells left to pick up before they can head back into Hollow Grove. Lusther getting set to head down into Lost Grove to pick up those two cells, and then he'll be on his way into Grotto as well.
You know, I like the button salve. I mean the sal if you're not just took, because it's one of the easiest clip, and you can accidentally do it on a casual playthrough too.
Yeah, the walls there are just a little bit thinner than they would need to be to actually stop you from just bashing through them, and so we can use that to just very nicely move through that area. Eviona, wow. Almost touching those instant kill spikes. Lusther having a little bit of trouble with the fish. Gets through the crusher, gets out of the poison water. Just one last cell, and then he'll be able to leave Blackroot Burrows behind for good.
Yeah, as Lusther is leaving behind. eviona is entering the higher field. We saw they have problem last race with this clip. Let's see if we can make this time.
It looks like they decided not to even go for it this time. They set up the save, but then just decided to go the other way around.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. I didn't understand if they decide to do that because the elemental died or just because they failed on the previous race. We need to ask them later.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I'd say that they weren't happy with how they set that clip up and decided instead of trying to reload a save and do it again to just go around the other way. But having said that, Eviona now finished up with Horror Fields, one last cell to get in Hollow Grove, and then will be on their way to Valley of the Wind to clean up that area. Lusther just about done with Moon Grotto to head into to Hollow Grove. Very consistently about one area behind Eviona right now. Oh no! Oh, that is surprisingly tragic. Accidentally kills the. Oh no! Oh my goodness, Lusther. Accidentally kills his. The bramble for Butterclip, and so had to take an intentional death and all the way back to the beginning of this grotto revisit.
Yeah, killing that bramble is one of the things you can do in Grotto. I'm very, very sorry for Lusther.
Yeah, that is a very unfortunate time to not have a safety save between somewhere in Grotto, really. Anywhere in Grotto.
Yeah, especially considering that we got not one but two energy refill with two energy cells. So I'm very surprised that Lusther did not save between one of them.
If I had to make a guess about it, I would say that it's probably not something that's been a problem before. But obviously this time it was, and maybe that will change the way that they play it in the future, or maybe not, who knows. But either way, has recovered, is back past that spot, and will be going for Butterclip next. And gets it.
Yeah, if someone asks why that cell is called butter cell, and we call that clip butter clip, it's only because it's like butter on with a knife, without knife. That bramble and the bush is our knife, the bramble is the butter, the walls is the butter.
Yeah, Eviona now, having finished up Valley of the Wind, making their way into Glades for this quick revisit. All the movement skills makes Glades very, very quick to move around in. And is making short work of this area. Again with that spooky stomp down at that laser, but no fear whatsoever.
Did I see Fiona skipping one life cell? Or was just me?
Yeah, you're right. Eviona did not grab the health cell or the ability cell above it. Evie, please notice. Please notice it. Okay. Has noticed that they're missing something. Going back. Truck letting me know that they did get the ability cell. But looks like Eviona wants to double check just to make sure. Yes, put your eyes on it. Okay, got the ability cell, got the health cell. Now is able to leave Sunken Glades behind and head to Mount Horu by way of the Ginso tree.
We talk a lot about tragic stuff that can happen, but the most tragic stuff is just reaching the final escape and just find out that you don't have the cells. How many times you need to back up the save to get them? That's the question.
Yeah, or even just figuring out which cell you missed and having to go back. But Evie setting up this trip over to Horu, falling down this lovely channel of non-void that we have next to the Ginso tree thanks to a lovely cutscene, and
Ooh.
ends up a little bit high.
Oh.
That's top of this R1 room. So in the right room in Horu, just needs to make their way over to that energy cell and then back. I can hear Eviona has leveled up Ultra Stomp, giving that extra little sound effect to the Stomp skill. Not one you hear very often in the speedruns of this game, but kind of a fun one to have regardless. Did Lusther already grab that ability cell in the Three Birds room?
I think he did.
Okay, it's definitely possible to grab it earlier, so I just saw him leaving that area without it, so got a little bit worried. Eviona finishing out that last out of bounds and cutscene skip in the final escape. We'll be closing out this run very, very soon. GG, Eviona. Congratulations on your win in this best of 3 series.
Oh, Lusther. Very low and just avoid getting crushed. So good recognition.
Oh my
And
goodness! Oh my goodness, Lusther. So little health. Thankfully, it's less damage that he'll have to take intentionally for his death here. Clip down into Sunken Glades. Maybe?
maybe?
There it is.
Yes, first time. Easy.
So, Lusther now just going to show us the rest of Sunken Glades and then close out this run. A little bit of a map pop up there. Not sure what that's about, but maybe just a little bit of a mispress on a button.
Or maybe he just want to inform us that Ori has a map of the area. We never saw that. We never used that menu in the speedrun.
Maybe he's letting us know that Sign still wants us to go visit the spirit tree to find out how to save the forest. But we're not going to do that. It's time to go to the Ginso tree, or in Lusther's case, a spot just to the left of the Ginso tree.
Very easy clipping to or right to the right of the cell.
Yeah, picking that up very quickly, and then working his way up, getting set for his final clip out of bounds to make his way over to the final escape, and then finish up this series. Gets through that little void zone into the water, double bashing the fish, and setting up for this nice rocket jump. And he's through. GG Lusther. And gets the cutscene skip. Very nice.
We didn't have a fried fish this time around, are you weren't hungry, Alcyon?
You know, it's just one of those sacrifices you have to make in the progress of going fast.
So you starve to death for going fast? I'm not sure I want to do that.
No, you can have other food. You just can't have horror fried fish. So Eviona closing out this race with a time of 43:12. Lusther finishing up with a time of 46:42. GG to both of our runners. And it looks like we will be joined by Eviona for an interview. We're going to see if we will be joined by Lusther as well. All right, and we are now joined by both of our runners, Eviona and Lusther. Eviona, congratulations on your win, GG.
Thank you.
And Lusther, congratulations on a pair of pretty nice runs. Eviona, I'll go to you first. How are you feeling coming into this race?
Honestly, not too great. I kind of forgot to practice until like yesterday. So basically, all I had done is stopless till the end of the game, as you could probably tell from my black.
Yeah, that first game, the early game did look a little bit rough. But it looked like you ironed it out for the second game, which was nice to see. Lusther, over to you. I'm gonna unfortunately have to ask you what your feelings on Sorrow Pass are.
The first game was very rough on Sorrow Pass. I died twice in Sorrow at the same place, and I was like very upset at this moment. And at this moment, I was thinking, okay, race is over, so let's continue this. But okay.
So, Eviona, I have a quick question for you. So, as Lusther did, you got a pretty rough first game too, especially with that backup save in Lost Grove that lost you some minutes, I guess. So, how did you recover from that? Not in game, but mentally. Does that grind on your brain?
Honestly, I'm pretty used to messing up early games, so I was able to take it in stride pretty easily. But that was worrying for the first few minutes because I wasn't sure if Lusther was going to be able to just take the lead from there.
Thank you, Eviona. I have another quick question for Lusther this time. What about that new strat you found when you clip into Spirit Cavern from Ballet? Wanna talk us about that?
Oh yeah, this one I think this was rather we found out. I think like couple days ago, and he put that on the strat channel, and I just decided to train it today to use it for the race. I think he said that it was saving like 5 or 10 seconds between those times.
Yeah, and you seem to have picked it up pretty quickly, which is always great to see. Also, your warp displacement to Ginso, that's something new. Bouncing yourself actually out of the Ginso tree instead of having to set up another clip out. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the idea. I was already doing this, but with a different log, and very recently I discovered that if you use some bind like the micro dash bind, right at the moment you TP, it will bounce a bit more the log where you are, so you can use the first log and save a bunch of time, and don't clip in Ginzo, which costs a lot of time.
Yeah, that's very cool to see. Back to you, Eviona, for one last question. I think we're all dying to know. Does the giant cursor have a name?
You know, I haven't really given it a name, so name's up for grabs right now. Although I think the closest we have is Take Cursor.
All right. And finally, Eviona, real final question here. You're next going to be up against Uncle Ronnie, the current world record holder in this category. How do you feel about that matchup?
I'm doomed. I feel like there's absolutely no way unless he messes up really bad. But he's been so consistent lately. I think that's just gonna be a loss for me. I'll try anyway.
That's definitely a fair assessment. I know how you feel with that matchup. So, anyway, thank you both for those excellent games. GG Eviona for your win. And thank you, Skull, for joining me on commentary.
No problem. No problem. Thank you. And more importantly, that to the tracks that help us through the game, Rory and Night Fighter, and more importantly, to Hydra, our streamer. Thank you guys.